5 raw truths about fatherhood that you need to know. Oh, and hey there, my name's Steve. I was a millionaire before I was 30. I really didn't like that shallow life, so I dropped it. And also, I was a father, and a single father for well over 10 years. And so I'm going to lay out 5 truths that I discovered about being a father that anyone should take into consideration. And at the end, as a bonus, I'm going to give you one of the most life-changing pieces of advice that I wish I knew before I became a father. And so if you're ready for the raw, unfiltered truth, then you've come to the right place. Let's dig in. Okay, so we're going to tear off the Band-Aid here right away. The number one truth about being a father is that it is one of the hardest things you will ever do in your entire life. And I specifically remember when I was a kid and my dad, who was struggling financially at that time, had just repaired a van that he was driving. He had to get rid of his Cadillac. He was a real estate guy. He spent a long time and a lot of money on getting the van repaired. And the first day he brought it home, he went into the house, he left the keys in the van, and I was about 9 or 10 years old. And I said to my friend, "Do you want to see me drive?" And my friend was like, "Yeah, that'd be cool." And I thought I was a big man. So I got into the van, turned it on, stepped on the gas, and the van started going towards the house. And so I meant to step on the brake, and I stepped on the gas again, and I crashed the van into the house and destroyed the entire front end of it. And I'll never forget, I'm laughing, but it was sad. I'll never forget the look on his face when he came out. And it was just like pure and utter, I give up. I can't believe this is happening to me. My life is a horror show. And I can't even imagine what he must have felt like at that point in time. And that's kind of like what it's like to have kids and to be a father sometimes. And so it's one of the hardest things you will ever do because you have to immediately become less selfish. You have to change your entire perspective on life because there are others now that need you to do that. And not just your child, but it also changes your relationship as well. So you've got 2 new things in your life that you have to adapt to that require you to think less of what you want in your life. And so as young adults, it's a big eye-opener for us to all of a sudden realize that part of our life is no longer our own. And it just doesn't end there. The decisions you make in this transition just keeps going. As your child grows up, as your relationship changes, you start to realize that these are all new issues. They're all new things you have to deal with that are not really things you expected to be able to deal with. And that's the thing about being a parent, is that it's the unexpected things that are going to be the most difficult part of it. And those always happen. And then number 2, the second truth about being a father or even a parent is that it is the most rewarding thing that you will ever do in your life. It's kind of hard to even describe the feeling and the deeper fulfillment and emotions that come with being a parent. It just puts you into a completely new realm of emotions and feelings and happiness and sadness and all of these deeper things that come with life that are amazing and tragic and difficult and sad and loving and happy and all these feelings that come with that you just can't really describe to someone unless they are a parent. And when you talk about it with other parents, they know exactly what you mean. You know, I had spent so much time trying to persuade and get my son interested in doing entrepreneurial ventures and taking his creative talents, putting them out into the world and seeing how people could enjoy them and he could potentially make money from them and do something that he loved and actually get rewarded from the world from it. And he just didn't want any part of it for the longest time. And then once I made him move out of the house and he was off in the world and he had to go out and make money on his own, we were talking and he decided to start up his own business. And he said something to me along the lines of, "I want to be like you. That's going to be my goal," or something like that. It was one of the greatest feelings of my entire life. it made all that work and that frustration worth it in that one moment. I had done the right thing, and that he was learning and had taken it in. And now was the time where he could see that and he could bring that to his life to get himself a better life. And the feeling of pride and love and happiness and whatever else, these other emotions that came with it, were just overwhelming when I heard that. And I will never forget that moment. The third truth of being a father is that it will make you a better human. Now, I mean, the caveat in this is that you have to try to be a better parent. And if you try to be a better parent, then you will necessarily become a better human being. And a big part of this is that you just come to realize that life and the experience of life is different and has a different meaning for you in a much bigger, grander sense. And you see the world in a different way. And there is a calm and there is a satisfaction that comes with being a parent. And that's what I mean by becoming a better human. And number 4 kind of naturally extends from number 3. And that is, you will have a deeper sense of meaning, purpose, and happiness in your life when you become a parent. When I dumped my business, when I got divorced, in a lot of ways in that period of time for me, the only motivation I had in my life was to be a good parent and to set a good example for my son to be able to live up to. And that really was the start to me finding a bigger and greater path in my life. And it has spread from that specific point in time. And that has set me up for the rest of my life. And here's the thing. These days, we are really in need of a deeper meaning, purpose, and a sense of fulfillment in our lives, because our society now has less of that to give us. There's less family and less family support. There's less time in nature. There's more stress. There's more pressure to work more, to earn more money, and more stress around that, and more difficult to buy homes, and less time, it seems, for family activities, for doing things that build connection, and far more distractions away from meeting those deeper needs. Being a father or a mother guides us back into that direction of a more natural state of being that fulfills our deeper needs. And if we follow that direction, then we can feel more grounded, more solid, more supported in life. And the 5th truth of being a father, and that is your role as a father in a lot of ways is to guide your child into the world so that they have the skills to not only survive, but thrive in the world. Because the world is not going to be nice to them. And so part of your duty is to give them the skills to be able to deal with this world. You are their guide, their teacher, and their mentor. And so if you coddle or spoil your child, you will ruin their ability to really deal with the world out there. And so what you want to do is give them less of the material things and more love and attention. And the good part of love and attention is it doesn't cost money. Okay, here's the bonus advice in all of this. And that is, spend time helping your child cultivate something that they love doing. Expose them to as many activities as possible to see what they gravitate towards and what they are naturally good at. And support them in this as long as it is good and healthy for their lives. Because this is the birthplace of them understanding themselves at a deeper level and discovering their own meaning, purpose, and happiness in life. This puts them on the path. And this is the greatest gift that you can give them. Okay, that's it. Now go make a whole bunch of children, be a great parent, have a great life, And if you like this content, please like, subscribe, check out some of my other videos, and until next time, have a good one.